What's happening, everybody? The GRG podcast is in full effect, man. Hey, so shady, bruh. You hit me up on the Xbox, man. Look, you gotta understand. I'm dealing with special people here. They're prima donnas. Everybody wants to be. They want to come fashionably late, except for me. I'm always on time. Always on time. So anyway.
All right, Jabro.
Because we're doing it live. The GRG podcast is here in full effect, and the crew is here. So let's go ahead and get to our illustrious panel before we get into these juicy topics for this week. And so we're going to start off with Lady Infamous. What's going on, man? I can't wait to see you at E3, man. It's going to be on.
Woo! Hey, everybody. This is me, Lady Infamous 415, Grown Women Gaming, intermediategaming.com, and let's get on to it, man.
Yes, I can't wait to see you and Shannon Loftus, man. I get to talk to her, say what's up. Maybe not. They'll call security. Anyway, so let me get on to our next. Everybody, somebody else on the panel, because Delilah HD is stuffing her face right now with graham crackers and milk. She said, Mecca, I'm eating right now. Can you wait? I said, okay, sure. Okay, let's go. So let's go on to Kaleidoscope. What's up with you, Collider? What's been going on?
Like that, first of all.
Yo, it's the Xbox Goes Colliders. Nah, scratch that, man. Now it's yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. It's the Xbox life for me. Woo! Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. It's the console life for me. Yeah, we about to get cracking, people. Word up. Let's get busy.
No doubt. Okay. And then we move on to 108's Dragons TV. What's going on with you? Like that last video that you dropped? Man, The Witcher. You know what I'm saying? Sold 33 million. I know what's between all three, but still, The Witcher is life. What's been going on with you, bro?
What's good people? I hope y'all, as listeners, I hope y'all and gamers, I hope y'all out here getting into these games and don't let the haters deter you from having a good time on your console of preference. Facts. So we doing.
No doubt. It's the new thing has been going around. I heard Crap saying it. I've heard a couple other people been saying it. It's a you problem. You know what I'm saying? K-Mega be coming with these slogans, don't I? You know what I'm saying? I love it.
That sound like Mooch, right?
That's Mooch. Yeah, that's all day. That was me, because they were clowning me on Twitter and on Facebook. That was me. Don't be giving Mooch all the credit. Mooch got his lines, but I got mine. That's a you problem, Jack. Anyway,
all right.
Come on.
All right, we can let you have that for now.
Butter knife is warming up, boy.
K-Mega, are you a fanboy? I said, Delilah, I'm not a fanboy. You
stop with this story already. You've been telling this story for like a year and a half. Would you let it go already?
Hey, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. Just like I always do my thing with my boy, Livewire. What's going on with you, Livewire? What's happening?
She got a big old dookie booty. I gotta have that dookie booty. She got a big old dookie booty. I gotta have that dookie booty.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. Can you give me 10 minutes into the show? 10 minutes into the show.
Yeah, what up?
Okay, all right, cool. Anyway, so let's move on before he says something else crazy. Delilah HD, are you now, or I should say, Fiberwire? What's going on with you, Miss Fiberwire?
What's up? Happy to be here. Looking forward to these topics. I kind of just finished eating, so I'm trying to hurry up.
Are you a fanboy?
I was rushing, but whatever.
I got
so it's good to be here. Shut up, dude! Like seriously, K-Mega, come on now. Let's get it cracking.
Word. Anyway, all right. So then we move on to our boy Bloody Knuckles. He was not here last week. But what's been going on, man? What was going on with you last week? Where was you at, man?
I was spending time with my girl. She came out of town to visit me.
Oh,
so sweet.
Hey, you're goddamn right. I'm sweet. I'm a romantic, bro.
Oh man.
Hey. Look,
he said he's sweet.
I am a romantic. I planned a dinner and did something special for her. You back off.
Oh man.
Did you drop hot wax on your back?
Yo, it's a wrap. He got the defense.
Man, not how wax. We ain't had no wax. When you got no wax, you use that government cheese.
Oh, see,
Like, are you with?
But man, this week's been helping me, man. I've been recovering from a sickness, Mega Man. I've been out with bronchitis. It sucks.
Sickness.
Can't
Love
breathe.
sickness.
Yeah. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Oh, anyway, hey, Urban Gamer T, don't be taking my shine. Come on, man. He said Mooch said it first, man. Come on,
Man, he did, but whatever.
Did he? Stop it!
Yes.
Stop it!
It's
Stop
a moochism, bro.
It's a moochism for real.
Oh, man, I thought I said that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. A moochism.
Okay. Anyway, well, you know what? I did start Noni Coney. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's you. You can have that one.
That is true.
Tinky Winky. I got that one. I got those too, baby.
Okay, Megan. You know the funny thing about Noonie Cooney?
What?
Ain't nobody talking about it. Why not?
Oh no! I just seen Jabari post something about it was a cartoon looking boss, and he's all excited, and there was no lights on
already. Like,
nobody pay attention to Jabari. I'm talking about everybody else.
Oh, don't be messy. Come on, man. Don't be messy.
Yeah,
Don't be messy. Don't be messy. But anyway, but no,
I'm being honest.
well, stop it. Stop it.
All right, my bad. Everybody pays attention to
Everywhere else is all about drama.
We
can't do that. We can't do that.
His name is Jafari because he wants to be.
Stop it. Anyway, all right, so then we go with Triple Cup Chuck will probably be here later on. He said that he had to go get some graham crackers and milk out from around the corner, around the block, some damn where. Probably would. Never mind. I ain't gonna even go there. Let's go. Let's get on. What? Yeah. So anyway, let's get on with. Oh yeah, did I get everybody? Yeah, I got everybody. God dang, man, I gotta look at the damn.
You got everyone, but cut me off in the middle.
You know what I'm saying?
You was talking about you was in love and shit. Okay, what's going on with you, Knuckles? What you been playing? What you been doing, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
Knuckles?
See?
Knuckles?
Look, silence.
Okay, so no, he ain't been putting. He ain't been putting nothing but
The dating game.
okay, that pants off dance off.
You're damn right.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's get to the topics. And you know, Delilah, I know you don't like this because I don't like it, but I had to sneak it in for first.
I don't care anymore.
So let's just sneak it in. Okay, MPDs. The MPDs came out.
Boo!
I didn't even put it into the topics. I just knew I was just gonna sneak it in because they want to hear about the MPDs.
Okay.
So
Everybody want to hear that shit, but you.
No, I don't. I don't even want to talk about it. But you know what? It's part of gaming news. It's our show. But you know what? It's the public is the one that make our show go. So they want to hear our perspectives about the MPDs. And look, I can't give you any numbers because I didn't look for them. Only thing I know is that PlayStation is number 1, Xbox is number 2, and the Switch is number 3. So therefore, I think from my understanding is that the Xbox One X and the Nintendo Switch really they sold really well, and they have the best growth. I think that's what you was telling me, Kaleidoscope, that they was having the biggest growth. So go ahead and give us your insight on it first, since you knew more about it than I do.
Yeah, actually, the guy from the MPDs, he actually tweeted it out on Twitter, and what he said that the Xbox One or the Xbox platform, really, because it's really the X and the One, and the Switch had a massive growth this past month, and the PlayStation still took the lead, but he wasn't specifically stating numbers. He didn't state any numbers. All right, so the lead could be what? It could be 1 console, it could be 10 consoles, it could be 1,000 consoles. Who knows? Nobody really knows because they ain't really released the numbers. And as far as like game sales, revenue is up all around for everybody. All right, so everybody seems like they making bank. Microsoft and Nintendo trying to creep in on Sony, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what sells the consoles? Software, all right? Doesn't matter how many consoles you got out there, because if you look at Microsoft's revenue from last year, based off their gaming software, that was almost on par with what Sony put out. And Sony has what? Twice the console install base?
Facts.
That says a lot.
No, they said they're going to call you a fanboy for that. But regardless, let's just keep on moving.
Damage controlling.
Yeah, you damage controlling. You damage controlling.
I ain't damage controlling. I'm just saying, those is facts.
PlayStation is king. That's what they want us to say. PlayStation is king. We
state facts here. We don't state bullshit.
Yeah, we deal with facts, not bullshit.
Yeah, the mighty.
That's how you know you're dealing with a certain circle when they say damage contrling or Xbot. You can just say like, okay, yeah, I can.
You filthy bots.
I can lift. I can lift myself out of the situation.
Yo, just like look, somebody came at me. Actually, it was Ghost Rider 730's cousin yesterday. He came at me on Xbox Live. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Oh no, that these mature games, the ones with photorealistic graphics, they sell out the yin yang on PlayStation." And I was like, "All right, so if the PlayStation 4 has almost an 80 million install base, why Hellblade only sold 250,000? Can you explain me that?"
Oh no, man.
All I heard was crickets, bro. I heard was crickets.
Even the crickets died on that one.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Only thing, I can tell you this: the biggest thing that I tell that when they bring up the whole thing about wait till E3.
I'm so sick of hearing that.
But hold on, this is the funny thing. I'm like, please give me some other place where PlayStation gives out their gaming information, especially about big games, other than every conference that they have. Give me another place. And it was the same thing. It was
Isn't that what they're supposed to do? They market it.
That's exactly what they're supposed to do. You do it at E3, and they just got 2 more shows. They got the Paris show, and then they got the PSX. And then of course, I guess the Tokyo show is, but they show everything at the Tokyo.
Yeah, so let's get to topics, man. I mean, do you think? Go ahead.
Okay, well, no. I was going to you. What do you think about this whole NPD thing?
You know how I feel about NPD. First of all,
right?
I couldn't care less. I promise you, I could.
Right.
But yeah, I'd rather talk about like whether Xbox are gonna do the inside Xbox.
You just want to jump ahead.
I don't even want to talk. I told you. I don't want to talk about it.
Anybody else want to talk about the NPDs?
No.
NPD. I'll do it.
Okay, go ahead, Live.
All right, this is the truth. PlayStation is still the king.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox is what's it called? The first loser, and then Nintendo Switch, since they're in 3rd place.
Go ahead.
Because the Switch is in the 3rd place, that means that they're gonna fall off the cliff and they're gonna die. Because I mean, that's what happens. They're in 3rd place now,
right? So
that means that they're irrelevant. The exclusives aren't holding up. You can't. You don't be in 3rd place if all your exclusives are selling. It just doesn't work that way.
Right. Even though their exclusives outsold everything from all platforms.
Yeah, but
hey,
nobody buying them consoles. It's behind Xbox now. So that means something. That means nobody gives a shit about Nintendo no more.
Nintendo's dead. Nintendo's gone. And they're gonna go away with the Wii U.
It's dead and gone. So now Nintendo got to go back to the drawing board and create another console. It is what it is, man.
Hey,
I didn't see it coming.
But you can't hate on Nintendo. Like I've said this before, is that they're the master of iteration. Like they've done it with everything that they made. They've made multiples of the same device.
But they don't have realistic looking graphics, bro.
Yeah. But they don't care about that. Nintendo does what Nintendo wants to do.
About that. That's what everybody wants. They want realistic graphics, Knuckles.
They don't want Mario.
They don't want Mario. They don't want Zelda. They want God of War.
But listen, let's not get crazy.
And yet they could say that. Yet Mario and Breath of the Wild are the best-selling games from last year, more so than any realistic graphic-looking game. Like they can shut the hell up with that. Like
I agree.
They need to get out.
Zelda did not outsell PUBG, and that don't look like anything. Let's not do that.
PUBG's something else, bro.
But PUBG was more to this year, yo. No. He said last year. He said last year.
PUBG came out last year.
Making these crazy comparisons when PC sell way more than.
Because when you know what, Delilah, when a PC game sells, because we know that's the bootleg central of everybody copying games.
Facts.
Okay, well, so if it sells on a PC, that's big because they bootleg everything. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking Zelda. I own it, but let's just be real here. Nintendo brought out a system from a 3-year-old.
How many copies does Zelda sell? That's my question.
That would sell like 7 or something like that.
Close about 7.
Yeah, it's so well, but I hate when it's not even about graphics because we have a pirate game in 4K HDR that I clown. I said I'm not playing this. I'm not interested. And then when I put it on my beautiful, just for you, Delilah, 65-inch wonderful Samsung F9000.
Yeah.
I had to do that. I said this is a beautiful. I couldn't. It's amazing what it looks like. It's amazing. So realistic graphics don't even matter. Sometimes, because that game, it's dope.
Yeah.
Cool. So anybody
I mean,
talk about MPDs?
It didn't matter to the
No,
PlayStation
damn,
fan base
man.
last year.
Please just move on from the NPD.
They still talking about it. They still talking about it.
All right, go ahead, Kalada.
Go ahead, Kalada.
I'm just saying, it didn't matter to the PlayStation fan base last year when Crash Bandicoot came out. Oh, this shit is exclusive. I was like, but that's not realistic, bro.
Kaleidoscope, can I say something? There's something being played on PlayStation platforms right now that looks like a cartoon game, right?
Yeah.
It's being played more than any first-party PlayStation game on the market in the last 10 years. It's called Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Don't call me a fanboy. I'm just pointing out the facts.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly. Facts.
All right, so let's get off of that. Let's get off of that trash. I just wanted to slip it in because if I didn't, I would get ridiculed of saying that I didn't want to tell the truth about PlayStation being number one in MPDs. But I've been stating that if Xbox was number one,
they can get that information from a different show. Is what I'm arguing. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I think Z's on right now. You know what I'm saying? So he's over there. So he had to go from
next time you want to talk about MPDs, do like a different video and then just. I'm just saying, like,
I don't even
fits, man.
I ain't gonna waste my video time. Making videos take time.
That in there. You really did.
I did sneak it in there because nobody. Okay, let's get to the first topic. Let's get to the topics, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Okay. Inside Xbox. We all know that everything about Inside Xbox. Was it the start of this month? That it got a lot of ridicule a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of people said that they didn't like it. It was trash. It was dog shit. It was blah 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 blah. Right. Now, here comes a new one coming around here in the next couple of weeks. So the question that I have for the panel, and I'm going to go to you, Delilah HD, is what are you expecting? What are you wanting to see from Inside Xbox this week? Oh, this coming up episode.
Dude, I really want them to feature State of Decay 2. I think they need to do more with that game. I mean, because it's the next game to release for them. Mm-hmm. So instead of them, giving it to IGN, they should have put that as like the forefront and try to really kind of go through the game detail piece by piece so that people really understand what the game is about for that show, and also have more developer interviews, people in ID at Xbox that's making their games and stuff like that, that's pointing towards like the features that the Xbox One X has. They can do this show so much better. I just wish they would put their resources and time and effort into it. But
okay, just the first show. You know that, right? It was just.
I know it was just the first show, but you can always critique the first show. Sometimes that sets the tone, and so to me, they didn't come out blazing hard enough on the first show. So to me, it's got a soft tone right now. They can really redeem themselves if they really do the next episode like really well. So.
Okay, cool. What about you, Lady Infamous? What are you wanting to see at Inside Xbox give to the public?
Well, first of all, I need to see more diversity of hosts, the people who's hosting and showing off the product. I need more diversity because there's a lot of Caucasians. I ain't tripping.
But wait, lady, check this out though. That's all I'm about to say. They had a lady. They had Ricari, which is a black guy. To me, it was pretty.
You know him by name. Say that again.
Ricari. His name showed up under the thing. I met him in Atlanta. Man, stop it.
Wow.
Lady, well, we both met Ricari. What are you talking about? He don't know what you're talking about. Whatever. All I'm going to say is that to me, I felt like the diversity wasn't a problem. I thought it was pretty good. Now, if you're referring to like black women specifically, then I agree with you on that.
That's what I'm just talking about.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And it felt like a pilot episode. I only saw bits and pieces of it. It felt to me also that it was more like an advertisement show to advertise their product versus giving us information on Xbox. I don't know. That's what I got. You know what I mean? I don't need you to tell me to buy this item or this limited edition item. I need you to tell me more information on games, on hardware, on controllers, and also like maybe a small portion on like simple guidelines on how to make how to run your Xbox better with the equipment that you have. But it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time. That's all. It's gonna take some time.
Okay, all right. What about you, Knuckles? What do you think about? What are you anticipating? What do you want to see Xbox bring to the table in Inside Xbox?
See, Inside Xbox, I was fine with the way that it was. It wasn't going to be anything expansive. It wasn't going to be anything big. Like you and Mucha said, anyone who expected more out of that, that's a them issue. That's their perspective.
That's a you.
It's a you issue because the fact that they said for 2 weeks straight what to expect on the show. It was a previously established show and format back on the 360. Anyone who wanted more than that's your problem. They wanted it to be like Nintendo Direct. No, when Nintendo Direct does their stuff, they do 30 minutes of fluff and have one big announcement. That's what they do. That's them. They're not Microsoft. Microsoft was doing something that they had done. Now, they could have done a lot different. They did great things by showing behind the scenes of Sea of Thieves and talking about other things that they had planned. That's great. I like that behind the scenes look. However, they definitely need to do a lot more with it because all they did was make the set bigger and prettier. They can definitely make a lot of changes, such as the next one. I want them to talk more about State of Decay. Yes, we got it from IGN, but let's actually get more from the developers themselves directly with Microsoft. Don't do all advertisements. Really show what's cooking and what you have planned. Let us get a peek. Like a lot of the stuff that's like in the inside Xbox Insider and like a lot of the stuff that they show in the Alpha Ring kind of tease what could be coming down the pipeline, what you're doing with them. Let everyone get a view at that. That kind of thing.
I mean, you gotta look at it like this. Like it's a reason why they brought the show back. They must got something already planned that they want to do. They have to, because otherwise, why even do this show?
Exactly.
So
exactly. That's exactly how I feel, Delilah.
Okay. What about you, 108 Dragons? What are you wanting Xbox to do for Inside Xbox?
All right. I enjoyed the hell out the show, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this is what they need to do. You see, like a game like Sea of Thieves, people was either on the fence or they was going to get it. Now, when they show the developer interviews, the behind the scenes, the work they put into it, see what was the mindset behind making the game, that is great. I'm pretty sure the next show is going to emphasize and talk about State of Decay, like Delilah said, because they supposed to, if they don't advertise their own stuff, you got everybody else talking about all these other websites, all these YouTubers talking about all this other stuff. Who is going to promote their product better than them promoting it themselves? And they gave you our itinerary on what they was going to say the show was. Anybody went in there expecting anything else, that's your problem. That's a you thing. Facts. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they sold this information to you and said, oh, we're going to make dramatic announcements. Because even Nintendo, they don't make no dramatic announcements on them boring ass Nintendo Directs. The first 10 minutes of a Direct is a 3DS. I don't care about 3DS. Then they'll show a game, and then they'll at the end of it, they'll show a teaser like for Smash. They didn't show Smash. They just showed an image.
Hold on, 108. You want to say hello?
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
All right, get your ass out of here. Okay. Anyway, love you.
So
right.
That's fucked up, yo.
Hell yeah.
You was trying to be nice, nigga. Damn.
So, but I'm saying what they showed for the first showing, people need to pump their brakes and let them do what they do. Nobody's gonna drop no dimes before E3. Nobody does that. No company. So, it was good for what it was. The production value was good. The behind the scenes was good. They showed you more of the game. And from as many people that was playing it, it damn sure didn't hurt the game. Shut down the servers. That don't never happen on a Microsoft platform where any game comes out and they have issues with the servers. That's a place. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that.
Don't do that.
I feel like the show appealed to. I think the show probably appealed more to casuals than
it did.
People on this panel. Like,
it did.
And it worked. It worked.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody, the people that's complaining is either the haters or the usuals. because from the game being played, I mean, who, like I said, advertise your next big game. The next one is State of Decay. That's what they should be talking about. Don't talk about plans for Christmas. Nobody cares.
No, they care. There's a group out there that cares. They want to know something from 2-3 years down the line. I've seen it. I've seen people complain and say they're done with the Xbox if they don't show something on these next episodes.
Yeah, right.
There's people that care.
Xbox to begin with. They feel like that.
I agree. I totally agree. We keep going. Wait, I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. I just want to tell people, like with the PlayStation experience, we watch the shows. The last one was garbage. 2016 on my channel, I had a big episode about that 2016 episode because it was amazing. But when something's amazing, it's amazing. They haven't had that amazing episode. Don't tell me every PlayStation experience was dope because it wasn't. Don't tell me every E3 press conference was dope because it's not. Don't tell me every Nintendo Direct was dope because they're not.
Right.
I'm not impressed with showing me Smash Brothers, which I don't play, but I know that's a big community game for Nintendo. I'm not impressed by showing me somebody looking up at a light and we know it's Smash Brothers. Oh my God, it's coming. Stop it.
At least they know they're getting the game.
Yeah.
I mean, getting Smash Brothers on the Switch is a no-brainer.
They show like a Fable, like that. Like, it's just show, we're gonna bring a new Fable. Just tease it or whatever. That'd been dope. Like,
I mean, it would have been dope, no question. But I think they're holding their guns for E3 because if they don't show up at E3, things gonna change on 108 Dragons TV.
All right, check it out. Hey, big shout out to our sponsor, Jazzy Noop. You know what I'm saying? Xbox, man, appreciate you for being a sponsor. Hey, if you guys want to be a sponsor, man, just hit that sponsor button. We would definitely appreciate it. Also, I've said this before. I'll keep saying this. That I took down the super chat, and so if you want to get down there and help out the podcast, go ahead and you can give show support. Hit that pay me, and you know what I'm saying, you helping out.
We try to get some Kool-Aids and
man. I gotta since I'm going to E3, man. I gotta give me some clothes, man. I gotta get some shit right, man.
I do got one thing that I want to iterate, and this is for all of us in the panel. This is for everybody who watches this or who watches any of our channels individually. YouTube is tripping on the smaller creator.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see the videos pop up. Go check the usual channels that y'all watch, and please share the content. Hit that notification bell because as we being smaller, YouTube is not really backing us like they're supposed to, and everything is based on what y'all do for us. Facts.
Right. Yeah. Those algorithms be kicking my ass, man. I could have the show being hit close to $2,000, and it could pop up and hit 890. I don't know what is going on, but regardless, we still keep it rolling, and we damn sure we appreciate your support, guys. Because like I said, without you guys, we wouldn't even be doing this, and without this great panel, I wouldn't be here. So let's just keep it going. Is that Triple Cup Chuck up in here? What you doing? Are you in here, boy? You in here, Chuck? I see him in here. You in here, Chuck?
Man, I had to go take care of some.
You always sound like he in the back.
He always sound like he's doing something scandalous, like he just running from a cop.
He on the back of the bus.
Way back.
Oh wow!
Hey, Chuck, back in the bus. Watch the front.
I'm up. Shh. They come. No, anyways, what's up, Chuck? What's happening with you, bro?
Yo, what is?
Hey,
man, look, I'll let you hide some more.
Bro,
man. He hiding, man. He hiding. He fell off of the law. That boy's a fugitive.
Man, stop playing.
Hey, I'm gonna hop out and hop back in.
Okay, all right. Hop back in. Okay, all right.
Man, far.
All right, Collider. What is your thoughts on the Inside Xbox? What do you want to see coming up here in the next show?
Well, I definitely agree with what Delilah was saying, and also 108 Dragons. State of Decay, definitely want to see more stuff on that. But also what Delilah was pointing out to, more ID at Xbox. I want to see some stuff on the last night. We know about the last night, right? Show us some more stuff on it. I want to see stuff on the last night. And how about that game called Black Desert Online? It's supposed to be coming out within the next couple of months.
Did you see the gameplay trailer of that? Did you see the gameplay?
Oh my gosh!
Damn, that looks dope. Anyway, keep going, bro. My bad.
Yeah, it looked sick as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? And then like more developer interviews. You know what I'm saying? Let's get down to the metal of what these developers is doing for this console, for this platform. I want to see what they're doing, what they're utilizing as far as the assets for like the X, how the Xbox One version is going to be running, all the extra freebies we're going to get down the line. But definitely show more support for ID at Xbox. We know Ori and the Will of the Wisp is supposed to be coming out soon. What's up with a big blowout on that? I mean, that would get a lot of fans excited. It's like, wow, look at the way Ori looks. That just looks amazing. All these types of games that I just mentioned now would definitely get people excited for the next Insider.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. What about you, Livewire?
All right. One, I think they need to shrink the size of their show. Inside should be about an hour. And doing so, they would, kind of trim a lot of the fat that they don't need in there. They can keep some of the stuff that they have. Like, I still think they should have a showcase. So if the show was going to be like about mainly one big game, like say next month is about State of Decay, but it shouldn't just be State of Decay. It should be State of Decay with a couple of smaller games in there that are also going to be kind of featured within the ID Xbox. So we get games like that like every week. So show them in there, give them some shine too. And they can still kind of do their like little like you talk about the main parts of the game as far as State of Decay, like what you're gonna do in the game, building and all that stuff, and then kind of go into those little smaller fluff pieces of like you go and talk to the guy who does sound and just while he's just shooting guns and showing you how the sound of the gun ends up in the game and stuff like that. And so the sound of like the zombie's head getting blown off ends up in the game, shit like that. And talk about how they decide how you build bases and things of that nature, and those little things, and they could chop that up into like one main segment in the beginning, maybe that's like 10 minutes, and then throughout the rest of the show you kind of chop it up to like little 3-minute segments in between. And what they could have done, similar to what they have with this Sea of Thieves, I know they messed up with a lot of shit as far as like not having everything ready just to put in that first show. But those commercials with what's the guy who do Rudy, the guy from the Goonies and shit.
Yeah, I remember seeing
which was genius.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all noticed that One-Eye Jack was in there at the very end.
Yeah.
I mean, those that who've seen Goonies, but One-Eye Jack was in there. Like, to me, that would have been cool to have that like chopped up inside Xbox.
No,
like, another commercial.
It probably wasn't ready yet. So.
You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. It probably wasn't ready, but
because they had a Bananas Quest hint in there too.
Yeah, they did.
So. Sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like stuff like that would be cool. Or maybe if they don't have all the commercials, because usually they do a little campaign, maybe the first main one that's available, they could just like try to pump that out for it, or maybe just whatever one they're done with. But yeah, I mean that would be nice, man. They have something there. They just have to kind of shrink it and just make it more palatable. Well, I say the last thing, they need to put the Game Pass stuff in there. Like what's coming out new for Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's
all those games need to be to be honest, they need to have all the games in there except for the main one they're holding out. They're surprised that they usually give to IGN or whoever. So I mean, they can't show everything, because they try to kind of like ration out their info throughout the month, so they have stuff for people to digest. But have at least the top 7 instead of doing the one and then doing a mass release of the others. That doesn't make any sense for me. Just leave the main one, whichever one that is, at the end, and you already know it's going to be. Like if it comes out, what's the next one in April, right? Well, Game Pass. I mean, there's nothing new that we know of, like a big game that's dropping, right? So, but in May we know that State of Decay. So don't try to hold out State of Decay like we don't know that shit ain't in there. Like that shit don't make any sense. You might as well put it in there, because if you don't, as the holdout, everybody's gonna be like for a month, but like, yo, what the fuck? Is it not in there now? Did they change their minds? And like, what is Microsoft doing? They're reneging on their system, like how they'd be like, oh, now it's in Game Pass. Like, come on, man, don't do that stuff. Please don't be too smart that you're fucking dumb and mess shit up. Like just keep it simple. Like that's what they need to do is keep it simple, man.
All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I was afraid to keep letting you keep going because I didn't know what was going on.
My dolphin. Throw my dolphin.
You want it? You want it?
Don't flip her in there.
You want it?
Yeah, throw him in there.
He's asking for it.
He asking for it. Okay, all right. Let me
He
go
was
get
late
him.
on the. Come on, man.
Oh man.
I gotta get him. I gotta get him, man. Hey, man, what you doing? I gotta get it.
You need a sound guy, man. You need a sound.
Jeez.
I do. You know what? I do need one of Xbox got like 2 of them, like on next podcast. Like he got people that just help him out and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. Okay. I gotta go over here, pick up stuff, move around anyway.
You need to get a soundboard like fully set up, like right there.
Man, man, look. I mean, this is a small establishment, man. This is a one-man team over here, man. This is a one-man team.
Yeah, you can record it right there on your computer, man. Just
I could. You know what? Look, I don't want my little weak computer to say. I'm not gonna say no. It ain't a computer. You know, my computer is actually it does really well. It holds up. After that update that I got that shut the show down a couple of weeks ago, that was embarrassing.
You have a desktop or a laptop?
that was hilarious.
Desktop.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey man, they kept asking me, we got to update. I said, oh wait, I'll do the update after the show. It said Microsoft said, no. We're doing it now.
That long. Yeah, my wife would be mad as hell. She'd be like, what's wrong with my computer? I was like, what's the last time you updated? Yeah. Oh hell no.
Yeah. Hey, big shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Big shout out to Fame Entertainment 2K. What's up, bro? Noof Nukem up in here. What's going on with you, bro? Lady Foxfire in the house, and plus everybody else. Rain, you know what I'm saying, and all the usuals. What's up, Miss K? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Really appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight. So anyway, let's get on to anybody else want to say anything about it? Did I get Infamous on that? I mean, did I get a okay, go ahead.
About the Xbox show? Yeah, you got me first.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I did. You think what you should know.
Multitasking. Keep moving.
I'm multitasking. Thank you. That's what bosses do. They multitask.
Oh God! You know what? Last year I wasn't getting this type of disrespect. This year I'm getting all types of. I'm getting all types of fade.
She the boss.
I'm getting all types of fade, man. You know what I'm saying? Delilah, are you a fan? Now she tells me to shut up. Don't you say nothing else, you bastard. Anyway, let's get to the second topic. Microsoft DirectX ray tracing tech. Woo, baby! If y'all seen that looked impressive. I made a video about it talking about this new tech. Anyway, they were showing 3 demos, and they were using the Unreal Engine from Epic. Epic was showing this, and of course, we've been hearing a lot of rumors about Epic moving to Seattle and being close out there to the Microsoft, and so now they're showing like tech demos under the Unreal Engine using Microsoft DirectX 12 ray tracing. I'm gonna go straight to my tech head, not you, Delilah. 108 Dragons. 108 Dragons. Talk to me.
Went from 4K to 2K. Listen, man.
Messy tonight.
First of all,
okay. If those demos are anything like we'll be able to control in terms of graphics,
yes,
it was very reminiscent. If anybody watched the Final Fantasy CG movies, it was very reminiscent of that. My thing is how much it's going to cost to make those type of games that look like that. That's the key, man. And what's the next graphic cards for CPUs going to be doing in terms of price when it comes to games looking like that? But it definitely was something over the top. It was amazing. I will be putting up an episode tomorrow discussing it. But I was really impressed and ready to save some money. So,
I mean,
excellent.
Nowadays, from what I'm hearing, is like they really just take pictures nowadays. Not that they don't still do work behind that, but it's not the same as they had to do it from scratch, like build the face from scratch. Now they just take pictures they scan your face in, and then after that, then they kind of texture it up with like what they have to do by hand. But
you know, most of the work is the animation.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
and most of
most of the
and you don't even
Yeah,
have to
that's
do that
mocap.
anymore. And,
Yeah.
yeah, well,
That's
it's not even mocap anymore. They just read your face now.
right.
They read the wrinkles and all that stuff. They don't even put dots on their face no more. This
Nah.
is crazy, bro.
It is. They
Well,
got new
they have
cameras.
some,
3D
but they
it's
have
like
the mini
3D
ones.
Cameras. It's 3D cameras that they use to scan your face. They spin you around in the chair or spin something around
Like-
and you want to play the game.
Like, that's crazy. Like, remember when they used to put 1,000 dots on their face?
Yeah.
Now they just put
Yeah.
the camera in their face.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That right there saves time. 'Cause you gotta get
Still
makeup
gonna cost.
artists and all that shit. You know,
Still gonna cost. Somebody gonna pay for all
no,
that.
no. Yeah,
That,
everybody.
that
Yeah.
RD, that
Well,
research and development.
Well,
All right.
but see, that's what That's what works well in everybody's favor as far as like in development. Once they do the initial research and development, they're just gonna share that shit around with especially with Microsoft with all their developers, Sony with all their developers.
Well, they're releasing it to the developers by the end of the year, so it's definitely gonna be for next generation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. I was expecting a little bit more out of you. I'm not impressed too much, but let me go to the real. So for me going to my tech person on the show, I have to play.
Shots are real.
Oh my God, I missed that.
Yes, he's back. He's back. I just been holding him. Anyway, before I go to our tech person, Miss High End Fiber Tech.
So ridiculous right now.
I got to do this again for you, One-Way Dragons. Okay, all right.
Oh man.
Even disappointed with me because like I saw the videos, but I didn't do.
Okay, we'll just move on to Kaleidoscope. All right, Kaleidoscope, what we got?
What you was talking about? Damn.
Oh shit! The savagery is real
I
tonight.
did see the video though. I did see the
Yeah,
video.
it is.
Okay, did you see the video? Okay, so what
Yes,
did
I
you think about the
did.
video?
Thank you, Infamous, by the way, lady. Thank you.
What? I put it in a damn DM. What? Come on now. Hey, my man Crew.
Lady beat you to it. Whatever.
Oh shit!
I'm just saying. I got y'all both on DM, but whatever.
Actually, I can't take that credit. That's El Boogie. She brought that to the table.
Okay.
Yeah, she brought that to the
Y'all,
table.
I know y'all be keeping that junk lit, so I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
El Boogie brought that to the table first.
Yeah, but yeah, I was super impressed by it.
Mhm.
I think it's fantastic. I do agree with Lemon that it may inflate the price a little bit, but I think it's still going to be something to look forward to. It gets me really excited about like what can be done in the future about regarding games and everything. So yeah, I'll say bring it on. I think the reason why they're showing this is because they probably found a faster way to do all of that, and if that's the case, then it's going to be the development time is going to be the same. I mean, the creating time is going to be the same. So bring it on. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look great. What about you, Kaleidoscope? What did you think about this?
Actually, yeah, I did see the video and it was actually amazing. What I can say is everybody knows how beastly the Unreal Engine 4 is, right? Well, with that ray tracing, this is going to be the Unreal Engine 4 on steroids, all right? And as to who's going to foot the bill, Game Pass is going to foot the bill, man. All right? Because most people are going to Game Pass that stuff anyway, man. I mean, it's more economical, all right? And it's another way in order to entice gamers to hop on Game Pass. They did it with Sea of Thieves, and guess what? The servers went down, bro. All right? There's a reason for that, because everybody latching on to Sea of Thieves. It doesn't matter what they're putting out in the media. They could talk all they want. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we playing games, and they talking shit.
Metacritic
Or
is
they
not-
talking games.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? We playing games, and they talking
That's
games.
the next topic. So let's not talk about Sea of Thieves right now. Let's get to.
No, I'm not bringing up Sea of Thieves. I'm just saying, know what I'm saying? But the
But
ray
yeah,
tracing
everybody's
is
about to
going
go
to be
left
dope
to
as
it.
hell.
Okay. So that's
Yeah,
it.
I know, right? True that.
Is
But
that it? Is that it?
the tech on
about to
display,
get it?
the tech on
Okay.
display was no joke. All right, I'm just thinking about. We saw how Quantum Break looked when it first came out, and we saw the version for the Xbox One X, which took it leaps and bounds ahead into 4K. Can you imagine? It'll actually make people look more realistic than we've already seen, and it's going to be a step above those Final Fantasy movies, Lemon.
Oh, no question. I
Because
just
we
gave
see
a reference.
yeah,
A lot
it's-
of people saw that.
yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a step above that. We're talking
Yeah.
Beowulf here, people.
Yes.
Right? Anybody who's seen Beowulf,
Beowulf
that's
is
what we're talking
amazing.
here when we're talking about realistic
Collider,
graphics using ray tracing.
No, you want
Right? And that's going to be dope. That's going to be next level, people. Next level.
Oh yeah.
And that's all I got to say.
But if you want to talk about realistic, especially if you're going to go foreign, especially with some of the alien tech, look at what was in Space Pirate Harlock. That had some of the best realistic animation for a 3D animated movie.
No, but Joe, they didn't look realistic, bro. That's just art style.
Are you kidding me? Space Pirate Harlock was absolutely realistic. I will fight you on this.
I knew it. I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
Okay, so hey,
you can't fight nobody. You a lover.
Okay, there's somebody in the chat.
I know, right? You sweet.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. There's somebody on the chat. There's somebody in the chat that says, Andrew Wilkins. He said Quantum Break was 1440p. Xbox fans are always wrong. We got one of those in there tonight. What's up with you?
Why do you point these people out? Like, I don't understand.
John, you gotta give the naysayers.
We gotta
get it. It's dumb.
This GRG podcast, everybody's welcome here, man. This
it was
is right
for
all games.
Like you giving them a voice when they don't even matter. Like,
okay, so Delilah told me to just give you the
voice.
Thank you. Hey, where's your Hades clip? You got Hades clip back up in here.
You know what? I do got to bring my send that shit back to Hades. I do have to bring that back.
Yes,
I will bring that. I will bring that back.
Damn, you on fire, Delilah.
She vicious.
She's wearing me out tonight.
He said Quantum Break was 1440p.
That I was
like that Uncharted.
Black and white.
He said it wasn't.
Probably didn't even play.
Wasn't he an X1080T?
Doesn't matter. If we're wrong, we're wrong. Okay, you guys are right. All right. Anyway, so yeah. It was You know what I'm saying? So it was if it was 1440p, then it was on the level of the PlayStation Pro. So okay, let's go on to that checkerboarding. Let's go ahead. Knuckles, what is your impressions on these 3 demos?
All I can say is that those demos were just mind-boggling from the way that they captured the image and way you could actually see the light reflection as it rotated. Because one of them was actually done by Remedy, and we're gonna talk about Quantum Break. That they actually did one of the ray tracing demos, and it was the one in the. It was right there in the little coffee shop looking. So you could see the booth, you could see the reflection off the can, the full print on the newspaper. If this is the kind of technology that Epic is working.
Could that be a new IP?
I don't know. There's still no talks on what Remedy's doing next. It could be going into their next big multi-plat open world multiplayer game that they're doing. I hope so. I love Remedy's work. But if this is the kind of stuff that they're able to get hands on early with what Epic is building, that shows you the kind of leaps and bounds that Epic is making with the Unreal Engine. Because we saw how much improvement Unreal 4 went from 3, and that was already an amazing tech back last generation.
Facts.
What we're looking at the future, especially with like the advancement of a lot of processors and now the more commonality of quantum computing, but that's not going to be in a console ever. This is great. This is great news to see, and this is great visuals to see. If people want realistic, you're about to get hyper realistic.
Facts.
Yes, indeed. Infamous. What was your impression since L Boogie instead of K Mega gave you the juice? Then what did you think about it since you seen it first?
Juice is wet as fuck because
hey, what's going on here? The whole
I'm looking at these. First of all, these little clips was shown at the GDC in San Francisco.
That's right.
First of all, they had a few clips. Okay, one was the real-time ray tracing demo.
We don't care about your accolades and the damn place where you seen my girl Shannon Loftus doing her thing. You know what I'm saying?
Me, you're being terribly rude. Can I please finish?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm trying to be thorough with this one. I'm trying to be thorough with this one. Okay, now, the first one was the Star Wars one, which looked at damn near like human. That shit looks. You can see the reflections off the armor, and I think that was great.
And that shit sound funny too.
Yeah, and the second one is it's a character. I don't know who the character is coming from, but his name is Osiris, and he's voiced by Andy Serkis. If you don't know who he is, Gollum from Lord of the Rings. My precious. He's a good actor, even though he's mostly in CGI. He's a good actor for that.
He was a shit in Claw, though. I mean, well, he was Claw in Black Panther. So yeah.
Now the one that stuck with me was the Siren real time performance. You tell me that's a video game? That's the platform that what video games can become. I do agree with Lemon. If this is what's going to be the future of the game, it is going to be more than $60. Just because of the budget alone to get this done. You can't do an ordinary game budget and with what we have right now and expecting to get this done. I don't see these type of games that I've seen in these trailers to be $60. It's maybe $65, maybe $70. But if this is the future, I'm down with it. And someone said this is going to be next gen. I agree with you as well. I don't think that.
Stop.
This is my opinion.
This gen.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
But there's a key point that everybody keeps missing. It's also DirectX 12 based.
That's right.
Facts.
Well then, damn.
OpenGL people, you in trouble.
Well, we got that now. We got that now. So didn't even know that. Thank you for that observation. I still don't think it's gonna be. I still don't think it's gonna still be $60. I just.
No, sir.
No, I don't think so.
If this gen, though, it'll be at the end of the generation. Going into next one.
$60 for an indie game.
Look, guys, I totally disagree with that. Anybody else want to take on this?
Yeah, well,
go ahead, Lyle.
I'll say this. I don't think it's going to cost more. And the only reason why I say that is because I think the tech will make it easier to do. I think that the work was so much harder before because you had to work harder just to do the same shit. But now they could work, less and then get more done. They're working smarter instead of harder.
Yeah,
so instead of doing 8 hours just to do the same shit you could do now in 2, because half of the shit you just scan. You feel me? And then the rest of it is just making sure it lines up right. I mean, that in itself is a task, but then after you line it up, then you could just clean it up. Like, all right, I gotta blend this shit.
You think they're gonna take a financial hit because they having an easy day and they knowing they presenting a better product?
Well, what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is we don't know how much
65 to 85 to 100 now, and they charging you for BS content, steel books.
No,
doing it now.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
People are not going to pay you. I mean, you might pay more than 60 for that, but most people ain't. It'll just be literally only the hard. That means that you're going to believe that all the hardcore are going to buy this game. And maybe like for $100, and then everybody else, fuck it. They're gonna just have to wait until that.
Okay, let's just make this point right here. Look at
everybody else gonna game pass it, bro.
Oh, well, okay.
I have no choice.
Okay, well, no. Look at this from this perspective. Look at this from this perspective. Okay, look at God of War. How great that looks. Look at Rise. How great that game still holds up almost close to 5 years. Look at Quantum Break. Look at for an open world game for The Witcher. You know what I'm saying? And for just other countless games you can just think of that just looks absolutely stunning. Like you look at
Sunset Overdrive,
Assassin's Creed Origins. Look how great that game looks.
But not next to that shit you just seen.
And all those games are $60.
But that's current technology, Mega.
This is still look, we're still paying. Look, we okay. How I'm looking at it is how we probably thought back then when we were looking at when we was looking at games at a different perspective, right? Like we were seeing games that look like they do now. Back then, we were saying, "Oh man, there's no way that these games are going to cost the same." They are. The thing of it is that look, okay, it says right here. It says to create a realistic digital character requires more than just tracking movements. You need to be able to isolate the mimic everything down to the most minute detail. And so basically, when you're doing that, it also states that the technology, even though this is using a lot of data, it's a lot easier to make these to create realistic digital avatars now than it was in the past. So you know what I'm saying. So I'm reading right here from the page, and so therefore he was right. Is that look, the technology is going to be cost effective, but it's also not going to be if you got things like if you're using the cloud, that's going to cost a lot of money. And if you go into this streaming service that all these companies are going to do eventually, that's going to alleviate a lot of the cost that's going into games, because a lot of these companies are not going to just go out and make a AA or a AAA game with these graphics looking like that, and then this game doesn't sell. So you're going to have one of the two things. You're going to have these things put into like a Netflix type of service, or you're going to have microtransactions and loot crates out the ass in order to compensate for what you get. So the gamers is going to have the choice.
Like, what you got to think about is real quick. What you got to point out, look at is think about Disney. Disney came out. What they do? They do cartoons, right? Hand-drawn cartoons for the longest time, and then they stopped. When's the last hand-drawn cartoon we seen Disney do?
They're not going to do it.
And why not?
Cost too much money.
Exactly. Cost more than it costs to do a Pixar movie.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Because the technology has come up, like you have to literally draw each animation. Now you could just
Cuphead. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
another game like that. You're not gonna see another Cuphead. As much as we love Cuphead, the only people gonna do Cuphead is what is it? MH, whatever the name of the company is.
MDHR.
Yeah, MDHR. They're the only ones that are gonna be willing to do that.
Because they're the only ones who are passionate enough and willing to take the time to do it.
But they also, that game would have took longer. Microsoft had to get them money and add people to their team.
Exactly. It's because that shit is hard, bro.
Yes.
That shit is hand drawn. That shit is fucking hard. It's hard.
It absolutely
it's tedious.
is.
And when you make a mistake,
this is the key point that I want to point out. Last generation versus this generation. What was the major thing they did to save money in distribution of games? Can anybody answer that question?
Go ahead.
Digital hard copies. First thing they did was take the books out.
Right.
Yep.
That was
No more manuals.
to keep the cost down, because the games cost too much money to make.
Yep.
That's all I'm going. I'm not saying anybody's wrong, but I'm saying look where the market is going. They're selling $100 versions of games without the season pass. And just they're bugging. What I'm saying is they can justify, if the graphics we saw, they can justify charging $85 day one because of what it looks like. People going to be amazed.
Gamers is not going to fall for that.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're not going to fall for that. You cannot put an $85 stamp on a game. It doesn't matter what game it is, and expect that game to sell at a click that they're anticipating.
There's only been one game to do that.
Grand Theft Auto.
No,
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
that's the only game. Grand Theft Auto. Street Fighter. Look what happened to look at what happened to Street Fighter 5. That game was in a wasteland until
no. I'm not talking about current generation. I'm talking about back in the days. Super Nintendo. Street Fighter went from $85 to $100.
Oh yeah. Back when
people bought it.
So they were but TVs, computers, and all types of electronics was way overinflated back then. So yeah, people are a lot more.
But the other thing, it's gonna be way too hard to press that because of the options. Like back in those days, we didn't have that many options. Now, shit, we got options.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't do it.
I buy mobile.
I
cell
need
phones.
to save as much money as possible.
Because more people will run the
really
PC if it's going to cost that much. For real, though.
Hopefully.
Well, now there is competition, and so therefore,
keeps the cost down.
Yeah, Nvidia is got their own. It's going off of let me go and try to find it again. It's the Volt GPU that they're going to be working off on, and it's a bad boy. It's a bad boy. Let me go ahead and look for it just to be totally accurate with you.
But that Metro look real possible, don't it?
Yeah, it's a NVIDIA RTX technology for Volta GPUs, and that's the competition to Microsoft DirectX ray tracing API. And what's so funny is when I made the video about it, talking about it, and I showed one of the demos that they show, earlier demos. It was like, oh well, ray tracing has been out since the 80s. I get that, but DirectX 12 has not been out since the 80s.
Facts.
So what I'm saying. So again, when you look at what, and neither was the Unreal Engine 4. So therefore, like, look at
easier.
Yeah, so everything is much more. DirectX 12 makes everything so much easier, and I guess obviously this NVIDIA RTX technology is also doing the same because AMD is siding with Microsoft, which is another thing that's tripping me out. Is like, the rumors of where Microsoft was trying to acquire AMD, and then AMD came out with all those cheap cards that were huge, and then here comes NVIDIA, and then NVIDIA just kills it. It's still in the opportunity where if Xbox dares buy, if NVIDIA, or not, I'm sorry, not NVIDIA, but if AMD decides they will want to be acquired by Microsoft, and then they got the Havoc engine, they got the DirectX 12, they got all these streaming cloud services. They are cornering the gaming market without anybody knowing it because everybody is so worried about game sales and MPDs. You see what I'm saying? And that is crazy to think about. So anyway,
to respond to the guy who made the comment about the 1440p with
he's tripping. He's going all left. He's
Don't worry, he took his dusty ass on somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say this for the record. I don't care if a game is 1440p and up because it takes advantage of a 4K TV on a high level. Just remember what the Xbox One X has done for the industry. One person did that conversion, not a team of 400. One person. So it's already easy to do things at a smaller group of people, programming. So that's what's also key. So if it's gonna be easy, and they gotta pay less people, maybe they can keep the price down because it took 427 people to make Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's a lot of salaries.
Yeah.
Without advertisement, without producing the game and the cartridge, it's a lot of salaries. So one person sat in the office, did Quantum Break by itself. That's commendable at 2K. Facts.
It is. Well, and also so like Delilah is showing that screen what I'm saying, the real-time ray traced graphic, it looks like a Quantum Break ball. And they were saying that Remedy was showing this. It got my fanboy level high because I was like, if they bring back Quantum Break, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody, Jack, because that game, it sold over 1 million. It may have sold 2 million now, but we know they didn't meet the expectations of what they were anticipating this game to make. But if they bring that game back, then I don't want to hear nothing about
or
Xbox.
Alan Wake.
Well, they're going to bring Alan Wake back. I already know that's coming. But the thing of it, what I'm saying, what I want to know is if Max Payne, when that comes back, is that going to be exclusive or is that going to be a multiplayer?
Remember that Max Payne
is a multi-plat game. That's not a
Rockstar owns it.
Rockstar owns it now.
So it's going to be a multiplayer.
Yeah, that's a multiplayer.
Oh, absolutely.
I
forgot started out on PC. It came out on PC first. It didn't hit console.
But did anyone here actually play through Quantum Break? I want to ask.
Yeah.
I love this story. I love this story, and I love the story and little details that Remedy puts in because you could see how much they go into that game. It had a really great story. The gameplay may have been a little bit offy at some points, but I still enjoyed the hell out of it. The time powers was great. Yeah, I beat it. I played through both sides and did everything. Yeah, twice. And I loved it. Like it really is great.
You play that game like I play that game like a superhero. I don't play like a shooter. So
right,
a ton of like powers when I play that game. I don't.
Oh well, it really helps if you mix it up because like you do a little time stop and burst fire into it, create the explosions, go crazy with that. That's what I was doing a lot.
Hey Knuckles, don't forget when people said they had that time bullet point stuff. Remember they ridiculed it.
Yeah,
who does that anymore? When we played it, everybody was like, "Whoa."
Yeah, right. It was dope as hell.
And see, what the problem was that this was what some of the critics were saying. Well, not critics, but YouTubers that complaining. It has too much story. How the hell does a game has too much story? That's look.
Wait, and Heavenly Rain ain't have too much story.
I don't know.
They were saying just saying, man. I thought that was like. Oh, way too damn long, man.
That was a cop out. And so the thing to me was like, How is it that you are talking? That you are one of those people that talk about Xbox doesn't have enough story games, but yet on the flip side, it's got too much story. What? So I loved it because it brought me back to the Night Trap days, to the Sewer Shark days. You know what I'm saying? Where you could just go back and you get those little clips. And then I don't know if anybody remember this old game, but it's Supreme Warrior. That was one of my favorite Sega CD games. I love that damn game. That and Eternal Champions. But I was like, this is what this is exactly the type of game that I'm talking about. That's why I got this big deep love for Quantum Break. I know that other people may say they don't like it, but again, that's a you problem. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. But anyway, so let me just move on to the main topic that we want to talk about tonight, and that is Sea of Thieves. And Sea of Thieves. And
that's the green light. We all could talk about it now.
We can all.
I know, right? Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. So I'm going to go to the ladies first. I'm going to go to Infamous first. And for Sea of Thieves, we got some ratings. There's been a lot of Sea of Thieves hate. The reviews has been less than stellar. The highest review that I've seen was 8 out of 10. Everything else has been mediocre, and the user scores has been lackluster. So I'm going to ask you, Infamous, do you think that these scores are justified, or is it something else?
Man, every time that Xbox promote a game that's exclusively to like Windows, Microsoft, it's always the wave of hate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the highest is an 8. I give that. It is a solid 8. That game is a solid 8. I played it a little bit this week. It looks gorgeous. Can we just?
It looks like a cartoon, though. Games look like cartoons. Don't need to be talked about as gorgeous. You know that.
Well, you know what? Beauty is the eye of the beholder, and I think it looks good to be quote unquote cartoony. Okay, so it's the same shit. Like the base shit is like look for gold, upgrade your stuff, and that's it. But I need to find. I didn't get a chance to find the story yet because I didn't get deep into it. Mm-hmm. But it is really fun with friends. If you got a squad with you, this game is for you. You know what I mean? By myself, I wasn't. It was trouble for me because then I had to go to the cabin, check the map, then go to the steering wheel and steer the ship. It does have potential. I heard that they're gonna do some upgrades in the future, and I got it on Game Pass. And I'm having fun with it. And I'm kind of surprised because I was kind of dogging Sea of Thieves like the last couple of times, but actually, the character customization, they should have did better. I mean, there's some flaws in the game.
Yeah.
To me. If you guys ever played Call of Duty World War II, you can go to this place called the headquarters, where everybody in the lobby in that particular server is just sitting there chilling, waiting to get their mail or do their contracts. This should be a similar format for Sea of Thieves. There should be a spot that everybody in the server goes to just to chill, relax, get their gold, cash it in, like a neutral area, not like, you could get robbed on this island, but like a neutral area where nobody.
That's real life shit. You walking around with a case of gold. I think a motherfucker would try to get you for your pirate. I think somebody would try to gaffle you if I see. Man, look, I'm not no thug, but I'm telling you, if I see somebody walking around with a chest of gold, that might get the. Wait a minute, hey, bro.
This is coming from the woman who be cutting people, and now
I know. She got the razor blade in her mouth.
And talk around the campfire.
Why y'all think lady be cutting people? I don't get it. Why y'all?
Hey, man,
Look, she lady infamous.
Hey, you gotta remember. She will cut anyone when they do the work, but when she do the work, she want to be left alone.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I don't appreciate
My gold chest.
I don't appreciate this bad interpretation of me because I'm not like that. At
Razor
all.
blade in the mouth, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out.
Okay,
Razor
Mega.
blade.
Okay, Mega. I
See?
see your ass. I see your ass.
Look,
What am I
look.
saying? Okay, when she see me,
Hey,
she gonna cut me.
Came out.
Hey,
to the white
she's the
meat.
cookie of GRG, bro.
They cut him to the
All
white.
I'm just saying
Cookie
is,
Monster.
and also,
Oh,
I don't want to. You can't kill the chickens. What's up with that?
yeah,
Oh,
you
you
can.
kill the
Yeah,
chicken.
you
You kill
can.
the chicken.
Yes, you can.
Yo, that's the infamous we know. Kill a chick.
Hey, man, I made
yeah.
chicken.
I don't think a pirate been eating bananas forever. You know, I think that's
Hey,
No. They
Someone
need
told
oranges.
Did you
They
not
need
catch the
oranges.
chicken?
No, someone told me that that bananas will like rot less than meat. Well, then if you on the island like cashing in your gold, you should have a restaurant that have real food.
Man,
You know,
to
they
be-
will.
Come on, man.
Come on,
It's
you
just a health pack.
with that.
It's
Come
just a
on.
heart, like in Zelda. Like, come on, ain't
I'm
that
like,
serious?
come on, it's not that serious, bruh.
Wow, but
Come
it's
on.
my
we can
opinion.
get-
But it's my opinion
So,
though.
but
You
that-
can get your opinion, but
Legend
hold
of
on.
Zelda, like Link can get hearts out of a tree on
Right.
cutting
Right.
grass.
Right. Hey,
Oh,
infamous
wow.
for that
Yo,
one.
we
You
get
get
caught up in
No,
fishing like in Final Fantasy.
You know what?
No,
You
no,
know what? You know what? I was gonna get rude and disrespectful, but I forgot we live. But you know what? If you have friends, this is a game for you. The 8.5 is validated.
That's what it is. It's a community game. It's not meant
Yeah.
to be played by yourself.
Exactly. And let's be honest here.
Oh,
There's
okay.
so
well,
many. There's so many games out.
I haven't to you yet, but go ahead.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you good. You
But-
good. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
But
bro.
here's the thing. Like, she makes a good point. It is a game that has been marketed heavily towards groups. And you got to think, in the past decade, so many games have been pushing for co-op heavily. We saw it last gen with Left 4 Dead. We saw it with
Kane and Lynch.
Yeah, exactly. Kane and Lynch. There's so many games have been pushing the co-op and social aspect of games. Like, why is it such a bad thing when Microsoft's doing a big game built on the social
Community.
aspect? Exactly. Everything is built around community. Everything's built around social. Yes, you can have your single player games. Hey, Halo was all single player. But guess what?
Loud minority a lot of power, man. They don't-
Yeah, but think about it. Like, even Halo, as much of a great single player campaign as it can be, it's also still got co-op. It's still heavily based around playing with the group through the campaign. Look at Reach, look at Halo 4, and look at especially at Halo 5. Like, the fact that people are getting this worked up about it is mind-boggling. That the fact of that co-op is getting this much shit, especially from Sea of Thieves, which is based around playing with people.
Overwatch.
Why is that a bad
I mean,
thing?
come on.
Exactly. Overwatch
Right.
is competitive, but it's still a team-based game. It is still about working as a
Rainbow
group in
Six.
co-op.
27 million.
Exactly. Why is it such a bad thing in a game like this where it's supposed to be a social game? Who gives a shit if it has a cartoony look? Who cares if it's for younger kids? It's still fun no matter what age you are. Like, the people that are getting this worked up over the co-op aspect of this and the social side need to shut the hell up and go do
Haters.
something with their life.
Hey, my boy, give a shout out to my boy Flip because he said it absolutely correctly. And also, I got to give a big shout out to Fame 2K because he said it earlier today. He said it earlier today, and he got a lot of hate from it, which was really stupid because he was just joking. But if Sea of Thieves was a Nintendo game, I think that the ratings would have been innovative. It would have been a 10. It would have been a 9 out of 10 or a 10 for a fact. Anyway, keep going, Knuckles. I just wanted to throw that in there because Knuckles and Fame was absolutely right in my opinion.
Exactly, and it's one of those things that we've seen where and that's nothing to throw shade at Nintendo. Nintendo do their own thing, and they're well done in their point. But you're right. Whenever they do something that's kid oriented, they get love for it. When anyone else does it, they're just like, "Why the hell are you doing something that's
No. To correct you, when Microsoft does it,
Yeah,
because Sony threw
Microsoft.
out Ratchet and Clank, they praised it, yo. I mean, they
And
praised the hell out of Ratchet and
apparently,
Clank.
Knack still gets a lot of praise too.
Ratchet and Clank
Oh,
is
yes,
a dope ass
yes.
game, though. Ratchet and Clank is a dope ass game too, and I
Yes,
mean
it is.
it looks beautiful. I beat it. That's a great game on PlayStation, and I'm looking forward to Spyro.
You're not supposed to have fun with a 3D platformer.
I know.
You're not supposed to love cartoony games, bro.
I'm a fraud,
Thieves?
man. God damn it,
Mario
I'm a fraud.
does
Oh
that.
man.
Golly, I'm sorry, guys.
Like
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Sonic,
I'm a fraud.
Mario,
I'm a fraud.
who
But-
does
but-
that?
But for real though, that's one of those things that I don't understand why it's getting all this hate, because it's unnecessary. It's not any world place. Yes, the game is not as big in content as we were hoping, but so what? Still have fun with it. Games are always supposed to be about what you do. And Breath of the what the hell story is going on in there?
Oh, I was
Hell
gonna
no.
say, he came back. He said, you ain't taking me away. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Knuckles. Go
And
ahead.
in Breath of the Wild, yeah, there's a story, but it's so spread out. No one knows what the hell's going on.
That
But
game is
what do you remember in that game? It's what you do. It's what
Right.
you make of it.
But
That's
it's boring.
all game.
That
It
game
is.
is
And you can say it's boring. That's you. That's your choice. That's your opinion. That's what it is. Opinions. But in games
Right.
nowadays, it's what you make of it. Hell, look at Dead Island. Look at Dying Light. You could go fuck off anywhere you want and do random shit and be having fun without paying attention to a story.
Facts.
Yeah, all right. Start with the church hymns.
Man, he screams.
Wait, that's what I was trying to say. Though,
I'm taking everyone to church right now, baby girl. Let's go.
Like one thing I was
Bro,
gonna say
that's the
was
tambourine.
that
That's the
I saw
offering.
somebody complaining about the banana and like that's a health or whatever.
Oh my
It's
god.
like you got Zelda, you can cut plants and get hearts.
I mean, if they want to be, if they want to,
Zelda.
and if you want to go with Zelda, if you want to go with Zelda, look at this shit. You're
Lady,
eating
it
fairies.
wasn't pointed towards you. It just made me think of that when you said that.
No, she's right. She's right.
It made me think of that. It's like,
People
look,
just say stupidness, and then
if
when you
this
do
was
something in another game,
I mean, it's
like, wow.
facts though. If this was a
Right.
Nintendo game, it would be a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Like,
Say that
it'd be
again.
like, oh, it's
Say
innovative.
that again, Delilah, please.
It'd be a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Real
On
talk.
on what platform?
If it was a Nintendo game,
Oh,
if it was on Nintendo's platform,
Facts.
Wow.
Yeah.
even if it was on PlayStation's platform, it'd be at least an 8. Like they'd be
It would
trying
be an
to
8
man.
that didn't have 1 million people online because they don't have no first parties with 1 million.
Oh no! Don't be
Facts.
messy. Don't be messy.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna do this.
You going
Uncharted 1,000 people a day. Stop.
All I'm saying is I completely agree
What?
with that notion.
Uncharted? Really?
Yeah.
If people really want to talk about it too,
Man.
look at any Elder Scrolls game. Who does the story missions in any Elder Scrolls or Bethesda game? They don't. They run off and do their own shit.
Mm-hmm.
The game is it's just fun. I mean, I've spent hours in that game and just had fun. Just
Fucking around.
right. Just acting.
Exactly. So why is it bad that a game lets you do that, and that's what it's marketed as, and yet now everyone has an issue with it?
No, no,
You
no.
know you know what the issue is? I'll tell you what it is. It reminds me of, and I was saying this in my podcast earlier. It reminds me of when you have two group of kids. You got one group of kids on the basketball court, and you got the other kids playing in the sandbox by the monkey bars. And the kids on the basketball court looking at the people playing in the sand, be like, "What the fuck you doing? Why you doing that shit? You playing in dirt? You playing on monkey bars? What imaginary game are you playing? Why can't you come over here and play basketball? We shoot the hoops, we score the points. 21. Whoever wins, and then we do it again. And it's like multiplayer, right? You do it again. You do it again. Yeah, you might win, I might win, but that's what you do when you play basketball.
Why
It's like a
kids gotta
regular
be cussing?
What do you mean why kids gotta be cussing? Motherfucker,
you ever met a fifth grader, man? They bad.
bro,
I'm just saying.
I grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey. I went to Cook School. I
My
went to
kids
Maxon.
old, man.
Listen, man.
Oh man,
You some cussing motherfuckers. I don't know what the hell you grew
man,
up.
I was a good kid, man. I was a good kid.
I was
You
a
went
good
to
kid too,
Catholic
but I still
school.
cuss my ass off. What the fuck?
What in 5th grade? I get my ass whooped. I get my ass whooped. My mama called me.
Nigga, I ain't cussing around my goddamn mama.
I'm just saying, my mama be right on my ass. I sit there and say anything. I say shit, pop. Yeah, what are you talking about? Man, come on.
Yeah, around my mother. I wouldn't be cussing around my mother. Or even around teachers, man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Man, yeah, see, these young kids don't know back then that you get swats. You know what I'm saying? You get
listen, man. I had a teacher that we had this.
These kids wouldn't know how to handle all that shit.
We had a kid. Well, granted, nowadays she would have went to jail. But
yeah, you would have went to jail.
There was this kid that was acting a fucking fool. She stapled his ass to the fucking poster board and let his ass with the fucking industrial stapler. What was that shit? That shit you damn near shoot at the wall and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like pulled his shirt up and was like, come, stay right there. I was like, oh shit, she real as shit right now.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, that would be. I remember we had. I'm like, well, shit, I've got swatted so many times, but I was a good kid anyway. So, and I remember there was one time that there was that we had a baseball coach, and he loved to swat the boys. He would not swat a girl, but he had a special swat. He had holes in that mug, man. And so, and he had a face on it and shit with fangs on it. You know what I'm saying? And he would call it the butt buster. And he would sit there and every time he would
butt buster. He got some real crazy names.
Yeah, he was called the butt buster. You know what I'm saying? And he was a baseball coach, so he lit your ass up. So that just made me reminisce. She was scaring me right there for a minute when you talk about kids cussing, because I got caught getting in trouble.
Say, bro, your kids ain't cuss.
Huh?
Maybe not around you. Maybe not around.
See, my daughter is a Halian. She's wild, but you know what I'm saying. My son, you know, I busted.
What? How you say that?
A Halian
with an H.
Yeah, she's a rider. She's like me.
Halian.
My daughter's like me.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's stubborn as hell. My daughter's like me. My son's more laid back.
She a Halian.
I know she's a Hellion. How am I supposed to say it, Delilah? Please coach me.
Hellion. You do good though.
Yeah, it is.
Let me be country. God damn it. You know what I'm saying?
Country ass.
Oh man. Anyway, East Coast, West Coast bastards. Anyway,
hey, it's okay, Mega. We represent the Midwest, man. We Southwest right here, bro.
I know, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't realize that a lot more people talk country than I was just thinking. Like, oh, okay, it'll be like
everybody
down
outside of New York is hillbillies.
I was surprised. Yo. I went to New York.
Hey,
I went to Detroit. I was like, yo, these motherfuckers talk country as hell. Yeah. I was not expecting that shit. I thought they was going to talk like,
they hillbillies.
I mean, like, I don't know.
These other towns, but they still country.
That shit country. That shit
that's disrespectful. Like
y'all's time frame is all fucked up. That's why y'all weird, man.
Nah, man, I'm just saying, like they got an accent. Like I wasn't expecting that shit.
Y'all got accents. Y'all say weird shit. We say pizza. Y'all call it pie. What the hell? You don't call it pizza pie.
No, that ain't pie. That's not
get some stamps
talking about Chi-Town shit. That might be some Chi-Town shit.
Yeah, that's different.
You know what I'm saying? You got it all fucked up.
Different. Weird. And then y'all some rude bastards out there. That's rude.
But you got to understand, like, you know, shit is way different than it is over here. You got to understand.
Y'all get a switch on y'all's ass. Y'all would, you know what I'm saying? The old school, tear the switch off the fucking off the damn off the branch. And had that shit
across y'all's goddamn branches out here like that.
Y'all a little bit more kinder to the shooter. See the shooter come in and kill the place?
Because we got guns out here, motherfucker.
But in New York, the shooter come in, we attack him.
All off topic.
We got guns too.
Oh, wait a minute. Delilah has spoken. Everybody.
Let's keep on topic. Yeah, y'all made me go left. You said kids cussing, and it just got my juices flowing.
I was right on top of you, the one to drag this all the way over there.
I did. Let's go.
Talk about this state. Sea of Thieves, please.
Okay, let's go.
Let's talk facts. For all you people that's out there complaining, any open world cooperative game never comes out with key content in the beginning. It grows with time. The game ain't even a week old. I'm going to get into Conan Exiles, Ark Survival, the two biggest games of the generation.
Mm-hmm.
They are not kicking you in the teeth with content. But what happens is the game grows over time. And let's talk about
Elder Scrolls. Division 2. Yeah.
Destiny, which ain't a good comparison. Black Desert, League of Heroes. All those games came out, they was bare bones.
Warframe.
They build Smite. They build on the community and give you content over the course of time. These games have more longevity than any other games on the market. Recently, first-person shooters, Overwatch, always Grand Theft Autos, Rainbow Six Siege, which started off slow as shit. is amazing with the content currently to date. The last the Division 1.8 update, everybody went back to the game. So when you look at a game like Sea of Thieves, it's a community-based game. Microsoft first party thrives off of online co-op, whether it's Halo, whether it's Gears, whether it's Forza. They have an online strong community. Sea of Thieves is right up the alley. Everybody gets into the game. They have a great time. The game is beautiful. So all the naysayers are saying this game sucks, but 1 million people was on within the first 2 days.
Right. Okay, but hold on. Let me. One of our constant listeners, Boss Moves, good dude. You know what I'm saying? He says Conan and Ark all started in early access, though.
True, but not on PC.
Okay.
Facts.
Okay.
They came out as games and they developed. PUBG came out in early access or whatever you call it on Steam. I can't think of it right now. Yeah, early access. That game just got out of early access right before the Xbox launch, but it has grown. You see improvements. You see many updates from time to time improving the game. So if you even take that game, that's the facts.
Yeah, not like
and let me say this for the I don't want to curse. For the people on this Metacritic BS, for the people talking about reviews, you can't take a game that's open world ended and review it in a week. You ain't did shit.
Yeah, that's
check it
out. Check it out.
I want everybody that's listening and paying attention.
They're not even legendary. How the fuck they gonna review some shit?
Right. That was what I was going to say.
Type of game.
That was what I was going to say. Right?
Wait until I get on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to you. I'm gonna go to you next, Collider. But
it's like reviewing a RPG and you play 5 hours and it's a 40-hour game.
Yeah.
You can't review games like that. So when you see IGN or these bigger sites, oh, we give this a 7 out of 5, and it's really a 300-hour game. When did y'all do 300 hours in less than a week? And it's not even 300 hours in a week.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Hold on, let me say this. And one of the reviewers on Polygon, they were saying that they were having issues with how deep the game is. And of course, you hear a lot of these people that goes after Sea of Thieves. They'll say that the game has no content. It's boring. That it's really No Man's Sky in the sea. Matter of fact, I even seen a little joke where there was somebody saying that this was a planet on No Man's Sky, because it was the lack of content. But again, all these people, like you said, Lemon, is that is that they gave these lower ratings because they felt that the content wasn't accurate, but yet nobody yet has gotten to the legendary voyages.
It's been out 3 days.
It's been out.
Wait, what?
What just happened?
What can I hear?
Ejecto seat goods.
Oh shit! Can't make it.
We back to the BS.
Yo, but that's what I'm saying. Like, with the whole Sea of Thieves thing, man.
Am I back?
Yeah, you back.
Okay,
damn, yeah. Ejecto seat on came in. Anyway, no, I was just gonna say the legendary voyages. That's nobody has got there. And so I'm just trying to figure out if the game doesn't have proper content. And the one game that I could think of in particular that really failed on that, and this one of my favorite games this gen, is The Division. I know life that I was off work because I had knee surgery, and I beat that game and beat everything in a week. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, I need more. I need more now. And then here comes Killer Instinct. Here comes, I think, Quantum Break came right after that. Then there was just other games that just came out. And then I kind of got lost into everything else that I was playing. Of course, Forza came out, and then they want to bring out 2 years later. Now, I can understand if Sea of Thieves wanted to make that type of bad decision to come out 6 months later and then want to try to drop some content. But they already know that they're going to be dropping content here.
And they said it
quickly. Yeah, and they said that. So keep going.
I just want people to recognize, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a YouTuber that you enjoy, whether it's these websites you enjoy, look at the type of game they review, and look at the time that you invest. How can you review a game in 2-3 days that takes weeks to get involved? That's like reviewing The Witcher. That's like reviewing Grand Theft Auto, or reviewing a game like Grand Theft Auto, which we know takes a ton of time to get involved, or a game like Zelda. How do you review these games in a couple days?
Lemon, I got a question for you. Sea of Thieves came out when?
Tuesday,
and they already got already got reviews up right now.
It won't be three actual days until at 12 o'clock.
Answer me this question: why they wait so long for GT Sport?
Yeah.
Why they wait so long for GT Sport?
I'm not gonna do the PlayStation versus Xbox thing. What I'm gonna do is any game that takes, like I always tell Mega, I buy all the racing games. Well, not all of them. I buy all the major racing games, right? And Mega had a race. How long was that race? 3.5 hours?
That's as long as fuck.
Yeah. It was 3.5 hours for one race. Yeah.
Can you get into that race it for say 20 minutes and review that one race and track?
Hell no.
Exactly. So when I want y'all to listen to me. I don't care what console you playing on. I don't care what game. When you have a game with that many hours of play, it could be a 40-hour Final Fantasy game. You can't play a game for 6 hours and review the game. You can give your opinion, but you cannot give an overview of what the game is going to finalize.
I put 140 hours into that story mode alone. Well, that challenge mode alone on Forza 7.
Yeah, that's crazy.
140 hours.
He was no life in.
Hey, Mega, name one reviewer that read a review, right? That did that race. I'm not doing that race. I'm skipping that. We're not doing that. I don't have it in me. But I'm just saying that people just look at certain things and they go left. I'm looking at all these YouTubers disrespect certain games. Just look at this. They put their gamer tags out there on all the consoles. Just look how much they played that game, and then you give them the respect if they put the hours in. They played 20 minutes. Go kill yourself because you're full of shit. Facts.
You're not wrong. Let me put this out there as well. People who take all these reviews as the de facto definitive review and choice need to get out as well. Because the fact that the thing about a review is to give you an idea. Everything after that is still
it's an opinion.
Exactly. It is still an opinion coming from people who have varied tastes. Your taste may not match any reviewer that's out there. It's still something to give you an idea on what they noticed about the game and for you to look up the information, to educate yourself, but it's still up to you to form your own opinion. Either if that means play the game and figure out if you want it or don't. But don't take any review that instantly says, oh, this is a 3 out of 10 and take that as the de facto. Right. Because everyone's going to be all over the place.
Anybody who's watched my channel, I've reviewed games and I really stay away from that because it's really my opinion. But when I put my foot into a game, you see me talk about it 2 weeks after the review has been out because I've actually laid down the work to give you an honest opinion. Not 5 minutes, not even 24 hours. Because you can't, if a game starts off and it's trash, it got bad online, mad glitches, you can report that. But what content is and experiencing the content, you can't do that in 20 minutes or 24 hours.
The problem is these
not everything
can't play games, bruh. Yeah. They so used to somebody telling them where to go and how to do it.
Yeah,
that's the problem. A lot of these guys.
It's the telltale generation.
It's not even that. It's the cinematic movie type generation. Everybody wants it to run like a movie. They judge it based on what's the story, what's the climax and all this shit. Where's the beginning and the end? How am I going to feel emotionally about what's going on when it happens? What button am I pressing when it? This is. Like they don't understand how to play a fucking game.
I got ridiculed this week. I said God of War, and I didn't agree with nothing Mega said about God of War. And he will tell you this.
Right.
I said God of War reminds me of Lords of the Fallen. What? You're an idiot. This is the response I'm getting. I'm like, did you see more than 4 villains on the screen at a time? Because I'm a God of War master. I beat all of them, even that garbage Ascension. And let's talk facts here. There's plenty of enemies on the screen to battle.
Yep.
Please show me a video. More than 6 characters taking, like Lords of the Fallen, taking their time to fight you.
Right.
Name
They standing around waiting.
And that's exactly what I mentioned.
They want it to be more up close and personal,
Well,
more
exactly.
emotional.
Okay, hold on. Let's not go left because I do want to kind of touch on that. I do want to touch. Why am I here?
I don't know.
You're botting. You're not botting.
Nah, it's just an echo.
I got an echo. Okay, damn, that sounds good. I can keep on listening to myself. Anyway, so hey, K Mega, how you doing? I'm doing fine, baby. Anyway, look, guys. So let me go to Delilah, and then I'm gonna go to you, Kaleidoscope. Delilah, what is your thought process on Sea of Thieves? Give us the good, the bad, the ugly. Or do you think that these reviews and these user scores and people giving all this hate is warranted?
I feel like Sea of Thieves is like any other game. Like either you love it or you hate it. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody don't like every game, and so if it's not for you, it's not for you. I absolutely love the game. I think it's a very fun game, especially with a crew. I've played it alone. I even like it alone, especially with the additions they made to the game. So
yeah,
I was in the alpha and I was in the beta, so I'm very familiar with the systems they had in place prior to what they have now. So I've been able to kind of see the process of the game and like how it has grown over time. But it is what it is. People gonna hate something just because the fact that they are not able to play it because they probably play only on PlayStation 4. They're gonna come up with some hate from somewhere. I mean, we all remember what the hype that was No Man's Lie, right? I mean,
oh, damn, Delilah, come on, look at that.
Spicy in here. Let me get my tea real quick.
I'm just being real because it's like
don't do that.
I'm making a stark comparison because of the fact.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of the fact that people was going crazy over that game before it released. Like this game was supposed to change the industry. This game is supposed to do this and do that. It's funny because Sea of Thieves didn't make any of those type of claims, and people are gonna still try to find something wrong with it. It makes no sense. You can't compare the two. You can't be throwing shade. Trying to call Sea of Thieves No Man's Sky because it already has way more content than that. So,
oh no! Don't hurt him.
No, she's right. She's right.
But Delilah, for you,
I know she's right, but I'm just saying, don't hurt them. They don't hurt them.
I mean, the difference between player and multiplayer, like, because you said you like both. But
I like both.
What do you like about single player versus what do you like?
Absolutely! I love single player games. I love multiplayer.
I'm saying when you're playing Sea of Thieves, like going in by yourself.
As far as Sea of Thieves, when I play by myself, it's like I have more control, and especially when I know that how they got the map, and you can if you on the top deck, you can just look back. If you look behind you, or look.
I just learned that
actually. I know it's so sick. So
don't play with Livewire though.
That's the same time.
Listen,
saved me so much time.
So
after playing with, like last night I was playing with a couple of friends or whatever. I want to put their names on blast, but I was playing with a couple of friends or whatever, and like I got after they wrapped up, like one of them had to leave, so I kept playing, and I was able to kind of go on a couple runs by myself. You know what I mean? Just like shooting, I was able to knock them out like one by one, boom, 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 and it was just exciting to me. You know what I mean? Like I was able to control a little bit where I wanted to go. We had to vote on anything. I was just controlling the whole deal. So I like that part of it. I mean, it's the game. The way the game is set up and the way it's structured, like the potential for it is ridiculous. Like you could already see the things that they can do to add to this game. This game to me could last 10 years if they try hard enough.
I can't wait for the pet. I want me a Rottweiler. I'm gonna teach him to bite people.
I want the parrot.
I want that monkey. So
it's gonna be like
I want a parrot with a wooden leg.
I want to add something to
I want a bear named K Mega.
I would trust that. I would trust having a bear called.
You should just name him Yogi.
I want to interject for a second.
And then one day I'm gonna gnaw on your ass and gnaw on your marrow.
Yeah, say that.
I want to bounce off what you said there for a second, Delilah, and you make a good solid point when you're talking about all the things that the director for No Man's Sky that he was promising this and that. One, everything that Sea of Thieves has done, they did exactly what they stated they were going to do from the get-go, from every interview, from every every like article that's come out about it, all the content that they stated was going to be there at launch has been in there. They have not done anything outside of what they stated they were going to do, and they stated that they were going to grow. The biggest thing too is you don't see Microsoft turning tails and saying, "Oh, the advertisement, yeah, that's all we were doing. We don't give a shit about what everything else. That's all them." No, Microsoft has stood behind Rare and every decision that they made on this game. What did Sony do as soon as something bad happened with No Man's Sky and people were wanting a refund less than 24 hours later? They said they only paid for the advertisement. They had nothing to do with anything else in the game, and they were trying to wash their hands of that company.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they did to them.
They threw them under the bus.
And so if you think about if any one of you guys have listened to any of Craig Duncan's interviews, like if any of you guys have listened to any of Craig Duncan's interviews, you could tell that they've already split the team, and like one set of the side of the team is going to be working on new stuff, and the other side of the team is going to be working on Sea of Thieves updates. He was like, man, I can't wait to see what they come up with, because right now that they got the game out, they can just focus on upgrades and
that's right.
It's an online only game, so you can only imagine, just like how Overwatch is constantly releasing content month after month, year after year. I mean, Sea of Thieves is going to be ridiculous, and it's people are going to stream the game and wasn't
come
out. We know two things.
Wasn't Overwatch hailed as game of the year as well, and that only had all of 3 modes in it and only a handful of maps, and now look at where it is like a year and a half later.
I'm telling you, online, I mean, much as I hate to admit it, online only is big. Like, it's selling more than these single player games. I mean, I love single player games, and that's what I prefer because of the time that I have in my life. But I mean, I found time for Sea of Thieves, I'll tell you that, and any other multiplayer game. Like, I've been playing Monster Hunter World. Like, I mean, it's been different for me lately.
And look how big, how much that game sold. Like in what it was, 24 hours, you had over like 1 million players. So let's just assume half of these people bought Game Pass, right?
They'll at least play $10. They'll admit,
or at least play $10. Right?
Ideal of being successful because they're gonna get subscriptions out of you for a year.
Fact. But what I'm saying is, as far as this is one of the bigger games, it's multiplayer. This is the one thing that we didn't get with Microsoft for the first since 2013 all the way up until now is a new IP with real legit multiplayer. This is the first one. Quantum Break, I stated
Sunset Overdrive,
the others, not including Halo, not including Gears. Those new games, they didn't have multiplayer. And only Dead Rising 3 had any form of like full game co-op.
Yeah.
If Rise had a full game co-op, I guarantee you it would have sold similar to Dead Rising 3.
Yeah, it had that arena mode or whatever.
Yeah, but the problem is like, most people didn't even get that far. Like people that
hard, dude.
Rise's arena is fun.
People didn't even know it was in there.
It is, but it's hard.
It's definitely hard. Like you got to be pretty.
You got to have got the good partner, because that's the only way you get through
that. And you really got to play through the entire game to understand how all the different enemies work to really.
Yeah, and the different gods, the powers of the gods and stuff like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that was the one thing about that game that really got everybody. That I think people that see, this is the thing right here. You know what I'm saying?
You can tell who played it and who hasn't.
Right. The sad thing about it is that there were so many people that listen to critics, listen to reviewers, listen to outside voices out there that talked bad about the game. And I swear, this is no lie. People think I'll just be lying just to make shit up. And I don't know why. I mean, this is video games. This ain't real life. And so I got like about 6 people that hit me up, right? And they were like, man, I just played Rise multiplayer. I had no idea that shit was fire like that, bro. I said, yeah, that's why I'm saying Rise is really good. And you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that didn't understand that because they listened to everybody else. And that's what annoys me about this game right here, Sea of Thieves. Like, me and Kaleidoscope was just going over 2 amazing stories. And I know that Infamous, you got to get ready to do your thing here in a little bit, right?
Just in a little bit. We can continue.
Okay. So I'm going to be real brief about my thing, and I'm going to let Collider get brief about Sea of Thieves. Just for people out there that hasn't played it or hasn't seen it out there or whatever, this was my thing that just blew me away, right? Okay, so it was me, Tempest, Delirium Blades, and the Don. You know know what I'm saying? My boy the Don from Devin the Gamer and from Next Podcast. And we were all playing and we split up because we were on our way to go to do a mission, right? So Don and Tippis jumped off the boat. We had a boat come out of nowhere and follow us, which they were ready to ambush us to take our loot, right? So me and Delirium was like, man, we need to just go and be decoys so they can follow us, thinking that we already got the treasure. So we bail out. We get out there and we're trying to get out there and we're still communicating with one another. And Don and them are still looking for the treasure and all that. And then they come and they tell us, we got the treasure. We're ready for you to come back. Well, crazy thing is that we weren't paying attention that there was a fucking storm there. So I'm trying to roll the boat because I'm not the navigator, but I'm the person that's always directing, guiding the boat, right? So I'm the sailor. So I'm over here trying to avoid it, but the storm moves my direction. I posted that on Twitter where the waters was going crazy. The compass was just spinning. And so Delirium's like, bro, the boat is just flipping, it's just sinking right down into the water and just popping back out of the sea. And so then I'm like, oh, he said, I need your help. So I have to get off I got to get off of sailing the boat, trying to get off these rough waves, go down to the bottom and help throw out the water, because not only the water is breaking the boat down, there's lightning strikes inside the storm and it's tearing our boat up. And so the people, and we're also getting followed by the same people that was trying to thinking that we still had the loot, but then they move out the way. And then eventually we get out of there. Our boat is completely fucked up, but we still get out of there, get done, get our fucking loot, and then go to the next port. And then we can buy and upgrade our boat. That was the most amazing thing that I've seen in that game so far. And it was beautiful while it was doing it, right? You know what I'm saying? Because once you got out the storm, you seen the crack of the sun, and then you just, I mean, that game was amazing, man. So Kaleidoscope, give us a little bit of your take, man, before we get to the next topic and get out of here.
All right. Well, first of all, some of them, they're just doing it for clickbait, people. All right, because they know they're gonna get the clicks. I decided to click on one review at VG Charts. And the guy was talking about that, they was doing the Skull Bone raid, the Skull Island raid, and they was hiding because they was, right? And then he stated that one of the dudes took off, went to the Mermaid in order to bring another boat. But the boat that he brought back was a galleon. There's no way in hell you could bring a galleon back if you're in a two-man sloop.
That's right.
So right there, right off the bat, I know he ain't played the game.
He lying.
Yeah, he did this review up on VG Charts. So y'all could go check it out yourselves, unless he corrected it and somebody called him out on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I know there's a lot of fake reviews out there. That's just clickbait. The guy was in a two-man sloop. You know the two-man boats?
Yeah.
He said he left his homeboy guarding the treasure because there was a galleon out there, and he went back, took the Mermaid, and came back with a galleon.
Man, no.
Yeah, exactly. We know that because we played the game. All right.
Right. No, they don't just let you 1-to-1.
Yeah, that's why I know a lot of these reviews is just clickbait. They're just feeding into it. Why? Because the pony started galloping out their stable because Microsoft just dropped another new AAA exclusive. All right. And they're gonna anything negative about Microsoft, they're gonna click on it. So they know the people that's in the media, they know they're gonna get all those clicks. So that's why they're doing it. Now, so my experience, dude, we went to do the Skull Island raid. All right. I was with a 4-man crew. There was a female with me called Miley Ashland. There was another dude, T Reaper. Some of you might have heard of him, and Longomatos. So we go to do this raid, and we see these dudes is like halfway through the raid. We was like, yo, chill, man. Let's just chill out here by the rocks. Let them do all the work. Once they did all the work, we killed all of them and sank their galleon and stole all the gold once they got the key. Once we stole all the gold that we about to take off, as I'm bringing the last piece of loot over to the ship, I see a galleon coming up and a sloop. I was like, yo, they coming back. And we checked their online profiles. They wasn't on Xbox Live. These was PC gamers, all right? Because we cross-playing over here, all right? So these PC gamers is pissed off because we stole all their loot after they did all that hard work. So then they closing in on us quick as hell. And then Miley was like, yo, T, if y'all want to live, give me the boat. I know how to sail boats. I was like, oh, shit. All right, yo, give it a steering wheel, bro. We gave her the steering wheel. She was like, yo, put 2 of the sails, the front and the center mast, put it to the left. Put the rear mast, put it to the right. And then she went and she cut through the sea like she was Moses. All right. And we ended up, these dudes were still at us. And then we started cresting the side of a storm. And we lost them up inside the storm. The whole time, though, the boat is taking damage. We had over like 50 rounds laced in the boat. We had patched it up with so many wood planks. We had launched so many cannonballs. We were running low on freaking supplies and resources. So what was we doing? Every island we was passing by, one of the guys would jump off the boat, go onto the island, get the resources, then come back and get the mermaid in order to teleport in order to keep patching up the boat. All right. And then once we went into the storm, right there, they got scared. They was like, nah, we ain't going into that storm. All right. We crested the side of the storm. We looked back with the telescopes. We was like, yo, we done lost them. Yo, let's go to a port. Let's go cash this shit in. Man, that's just one of my adventures, yo. And if you think about it in Sea of Thieves, most of the times when you talk to somebody that plays Sea of Thieves, they got a story to tell.
Yep. So true, bro.
It's true.
That's all I gotta say, though. I just wanted to keep it brief.
Yeah, I mean, it is. To me, that game is what you make it. It really is. You need a crew, a good crew, somebody who knows what they're doing in the game. The learning curve is a bit much sometimes when you're first starting out, but once you get it, it's gold.
Oh hell!
Yo, the physics for the waves and everything is realistic. All right. I've talked with people that actually sail boats, and they say this is accurate physics for sailing. All right. That's why this chick, Miley, that knew how to steer boats, she was like, yo, give me the steering wheel. If y'all want to live, give me the steering wheel. I was like, yo, I felt like Sarah Connor up in Terminator. If you want to live, come with me. I was like, all right, bet, yo, take it.
No, I feel you on that.
Oh man, that's a story, man.
Yeah, I got a story. Playing with Bone.
Oh Lord.
Mr. 100.
Yo,
did you throw him in the brig and get drunk?
I didn't want to say that, man.
So it was me.
Put him in the brig.
It was me, Flip, and 100, right? 100 in there. He's like, yo, we gotta go. Come on, man. We out there. We doing like a mission on getting chickens or whatever the hell. So then, and you know, Lemon always talking about, damn, you every time I come in here, you over here trying to move, get some animal or take him somewhere. I'm like, yo, man, I'm trying to trade shit. So I take we going with 100 and we finish this mission and we're trying to go back. And this crew came up behind us out of nowhere, right? And they stole our shit. So we're trying to turn around and you know, get our shit back. You know, dude jump on the boat and I'm sitting on like, yo, where the fuck is Honey? He's supposed to be doing the lookout. This motherfucker drunk as hell sleep. I'm like, this motherfucker, yo. he got the whole,
on the boat and in real life.
He got the whole everybody on the boat massacred because the captain got killed first. I hear Flip screaming like, yo, this motherfucker just killed me. I'm like, yo, where the fuck is Bone at? I turned around. He done killed what's his name? That was I forget the other dude that was with us. But he was working the sales and shit, killed his ass, killed me while I was trying to I was fighting his ass off, fell off the damn boat, got eaten by a shark and shit. Dude took the boat, was keep on running with that shit. I came back from the Sea of the Damned or whatever the hell it is. Came back on the boat. This dude's still out there, fucking killed Flip again and shit. Bone still sleep, just standing in the corner. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, yo? That shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. It was fun, but it was annoying at the same time, yo. Yo, a three-man crew that for a 4-man ship, man, it's hard to do, man. And it was just him and his boy. Because basically what he did was we were following these dudes after they robbed us, and because they had one of them little ass baby ships. So we're following it. We didn't notice that one of them jumped off. He jumped off the ship and grabbed a ladder, and that's how he got on the boat. I was like, "Fuck, man, yo, you supposed to, and Bone's supposed to be in the lookout, man." That shit. I was like, God damn it, bro.
You know what's funny? That reminds me of a story that I had from the beta, from when we were doing that early access. And I was playing with Super G and one of my roommates. And we were riding around. It was just the 3 of us because the 4th person never stayed on. And we were just running some gold missions. And we see up behind us, there's a little sloop just coming. We're just like, oh, look at this little thing. And they just start attacking us. We're like, yo, what the hell are they trying to do? So we're firing at them, and they're just like riding along the side, getting on everything. I told them, I was like, look, turn it hard to the left. I was like, go around the island. I'm going to hop off. So when they're turning behind the island, I slip off the side, and I see the little sloop coming up, trying to follow us. So I'm sitting there under the water, waiting for him to get close, and I grab onto the side of the ladder, and I come up, and I just see them like manning the cans. I shotgun the driver. I jump over the rail. The dude's still in the can. He doesn't see me, and I shotgun him. Run down, notice they have a chest. I take that, just drop it in the water next to all these sharks, and start taking buckets of water, throwing it on the boat, trying to sink it and run off.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Everybody's gonna have a.
Yo,
crazy
I got a
for that
story
shit.
to tell. I got a story to tell. We was in the middle of the ocean, the same crew that I had earlier. All right, we're in the galleon, and we have two sloops, one on the left and right, taking shots at us the whole time. And we're manning cannons on both sides of the boat, shooting at these dudes. At the same time, running downstairs and patching up the boat. All right, and then all of a sudden, I see all the waters around us get black. And right there, one of the people in the crew yells out, "That's the Kraken!" Yo, I saw that tentacle fucking smack across the bow of the boat. I was like, oh shit, that shit knocked my ass back. I pulled out my musket, blasted it. What the